Okay, so this is going to be a different type of video. This is like, I don't know what to even call it, and I don't know what causes something like this. Hopefully somebody in the comments can explain or relate or have been through what I went through. I want to say like a month ago, I was walking through my house and I was turning out the lights and stuff because we were getting ready to go to bed. And I walked to the laundry room because it was the last light on. And I went to turn the laundry room light out, and inside the laundry room, there's like that's where our back door is for our house, and our back door has a window like a normal door, and you see out on into the backyard and onto the back porch. As I was walking through the laundry room, I reached in the doorway because the light switch is right beside the doorway. I was like feeling this sense of dread. I don't know why, I don't know how. I just got this immediate sense of dread, and it like kind of sent like a tingling feeling up the back of my neck and like into the back of my head, and something was telling me to not look out the window, like out the door, because there was going to be something there. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to look, I'm not going to look. And I was like convincing myself to not look. But then for some reason, I just caught a glance, like a little glimpse of the corner of the door. And it looked like there was somebody or something. I don't know if it was a person or alien or something. Something was standing there. I just seen the top half of its face, and it was just like staring through the window, like the door. It like actually, it freaked me out so bad. But I was like standing there and I was in shock, and I couldn't move. And when I came back to reality, I wiped my eyes and I was like, okay, that's probably just why I'm really tired, because it was late at night. It was probably 11:30 or 12, and I was like, okay, it's probably I'm just really tired. I'm seeing stuff. So I like closed my eyes and I like squeezed my eyes really hard, and then I rubbed them and I opened my eyes back up, and it was still there, and it was just looking at me. Like it hadn't moved or anything, and it wasn't moving, it didn't blink. It was just like that. I could see from the nose up, and it looked like it was smiling just from the eye, like the expression of the eyes and the way that the eyes were like squinted, but it was just like looking at me. And I got like the god awfulest sense of dread, but it didn't look human, and it didn't look like anything I had ever seen before. It was it kind of looked like that picture of the skinwalker, like the hoax picture of the skinwalker that everybody talks about, that used to be super popular. Kind of looked exactly like that, but just from the top half up. Like the eyes were sunken in. They weren't human like eyes, but they were like sunken in, and I couldn't really see the eye, like the eyeball or anything. It was just like sockets there. The nose was like, it didn't really, like it wasn't pronounced. It kind of just meshed in with or melded in with the rest of its face. There was no shadows or anything that was being casted for me to see like a pronunciation of the nose or anything. Like I could tell there was a nose there. After I seen that, I was dead freaked out, and I like slowly backed up. Like I didn't take my eyes off the doorway. I slowly backed up after I turned the light out, and I walked to the bedroom after all the lights were out, and I was still facing that laundry room. Like I didn't want to turn my back to it. So I slowly backed up to all the way to the bedroom, went in the bedroom, closed and locked the door, told my girlfriend about it, and I don't think she believed me. I sat down on the bed, and this was already like I had already brushed my teeth, literally was getting ready to go to sleep, and just remembered to get up and turn all the lights out in the house. So I like sat down on the bed, laid down, and I just could not stop thinking about it. And I probably laid there for like 30 minutes, and I couldn't go to sleep. I was watching YouTube. Me and my girlfriend were just laying there. So I get back up and I go back to the laundry room, like the door, and I look, and there's nothing there. That's what really freaked me out, is there's no way there was nothing there. If there was something still there, I could have been like, oh, okay, I may have seen something, or like a reflection of like the washing machine or something that looked like somebody standing there. But no, there was literally nothing there. And I turned the light on to see if that would make like a reflection in the window and the glass, and nothing. Like there was legitimately nothing there at all. Turned the light back out, went back to the bedroom, laid down, fell asleep, and that night I had a dream that I looked out my bedroom window, and it was like really, really, really white outside. Like not light, but like white. There was an alien, like I could see an alien, and I don't remember what it looked like, but I just know that I seen one. It didn't like come into the room or anything. I could just see one out there, like the silhouette of one. In my dream, I went back to my bed because I had got up out of my bed. I went back to my bed, I closed the curtain, went back to my bed, laid down, closed my eyes, and then like I felt like not a sharp pain or anything, but it's like I could feel something was wrong. Like a not a sense of dread like earlier, but just like something's not right. And I was dead asleep. Even in my dream I was asleep, and there was nothing there. It was just emptiness. I woke up the next day and I had this feeling that it wasn't me. It was like a dissociation kind of thing. Woke up, felt like it wasn't me that woke up. I felt like my body woke up, but my mind didn't. I felt like my mind was still asleep, or my mind just was not there. And it felt like somebody else, even when I got up and I like took a shower and brushed my teeth and got ready for work, it felt like it wasn't me doing it. It felt like somebody else or something else took over my body and was doing everything that I would normally do, but in a different fashion. I normally brush my teeth after I get out of the shower, but I brushed my teeth before I got in the shower that day. It just felt like it wasn't me, my consciousness, making the decisions for myself. It felt like somebody else was making decisions for me, like kind of like an autopilot. I got ready for work, I left the house and everything, and I still had this like, I've never felt anything like it before in my life. It was like a feeling of disassociation from reality. It felt like I could think things that I shouldn't have been able to think, but it wasn't thoughts. It was like outside of reality, I guess. I don't know. It like I could comprehend stuff that I wouldn't normally be able to comprehend, but it was also nothing. Like, I know this sounds like a big what the fuck. The best way that I could describe it was disassociation. And it felt like I wasn't here. Somebody else was here in my body. When I went to work that day, I wasn't nervous about anything. I wasn't stressed about anything. I just kind of did stuff. Like, I did what I normally would do with no regards for consequences. And like, if I messed something up, I wasn't scared to mess something up, I guess. And I'm normally not, because I've messed so much stuff up at work. Like, I work in IT, and I've messed up a lot of stuff. This time I didn't care if I messed something up, and I didn't care any consequences for anything. Like, I don't know, it felt like there was nothing. Like, I felt not invincible, but like nothing really mattered. That's what I've been telling my buddies at work. It was like I had this realization, also came along with the feeling of disassociation, that nothing that we do on a grand scheme of things really matters. In terms of, as long as it doesn't kill somebody or result in somebody's death or ruin somebody's life or something, there's no reason to be worried about it, because it doesn't really matter. I was feeling the benefits from that, but I was also feeling the negatives from that. Like, it felt like there was a matrix, and I was thinking outside of the matrix. Like, I know that sounds so stupid and so cliche, but it felt like everybody else was like here and I was outside. Like, everybody was in the box, and my mind, not my body, but my mind was disassociated from my body, and my body was inside the box, but my mind was outside of the box. And I could like see, not physically see, but like imagine, I guess, everybody making their decisions and me making the decisions, it all happening at the same time. And that's a big thing with like remote viewing and stuff. I've seen a bunch of videos where people talked about that, where everything's technically happening all at once. Like, every possible situation is happening all at once. And when you remote view, you leave this dimension or reality or whatever, and you see outside of this reality or dimension. And that's what remote viewing is. Like, you don't physically see stuff, but you experience it, I guess. That's kind of what I felt like. And that feeling lasted for a good solid week. It was after I had seen that, I just could not come, like, my mind could not come back to reality. My consciousness could not re-enter my body. But then the week after that, Sunday or Monday or something, when I woke up, like, I felt normal, and I felt like my consciousness had come back to my body, my mind had come back to my body, and I was making decisions for myself again. But it was like a whole week of just, wouldn't even say autopilot. It was just like somebody else was legitimately driving. If my body was a car, somebody else was driving, and I wasn't even in the car. I was like standing on the sidewalk watching somebody drive the car. And then when I came back, it was like I got back in the car and got straight in the driver's seat, and there was nobody else in the car with me, and I was driving. Like, I was making my decisions and everything, and it felt normal. I've never felt anything like that before, and I've not felt it since then. And it was about a month ago, but it was like this huge disassociation feeling, dissociative disorder, I don't know. Since then, my mindset has changed. I've still kept that same feeling of nothing really matters. Like, there's no reason to be stressed over the small stuff or even really the big stuff, because in the grand scheme of things, and everything that you're ever going to do in your whole entire life, and everything that exists in the whole entire universe, and everything, what does a decision that you make now matter? Like, a small decision, like if you decide, if you mess something up, or you get an answer wrong on a test or something, that does not matter. If you fail at something, it does not matter, because you could just keep trying and trying again, and like, there's endless possibilities for literally everything. I carried that, I still have that feeling, and I like that mindset from that. And I'm kind of glad that it happened, because it gave me that outlook. At the same time, it was legitimately the weirdest. I don't know. Normally I have terrible social anxiety and I cannot talk to people. When I was talking to people, it was like I wasn't talking to people in Fallout or something, whenever you're just clicking random dialogue options. But it was stuff that made sense. Like if somebody asked me a question, I would respond in a way that made sense. Like it wasn't incoherent or anything. Like it was legit answer to their question or whatever, or a response to whatever they said. But it was like I didn't choose to say that. It just came out of my mouth. Has anybody else experienced that or felt that feeling or whatever? I haven't, and I haven't since, and I never have before. Yeah, I just figured I'd make this video and talk about it because it was the weirdest thing ever. It's probably autism, honestly. And I'm not saying that in like a derogatory or messed up manner or making fun of it. But that's legitimately probably what it is. Yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Goodbye.